Anecdote TV, where Richie and James's Park, you can hear I'm a bit hoarse with all the shouting and cheering along with everyone else today. I'm a wee bit hoarse, I do beg your pardon. An absolutely amazing game of football. We knew it was going to be a tough game before the kick-off. We were all really looking forward to it. It's a great 1-0 win. Richie, our ex-manager, as always, very kindly coming out to talk to us. You must be pleased with the performance, but I know you've had a few players out. You changed the shape a little bit today, but by heck, what a brilliant performance.
Yeah, we had to. It's again, it's been a season where we've had a few ins and outs. We talk about consistency a little bit, but I think we're now getting to the point where we've got good players squad-wise. Do you know what I mean? So it did let us adapt, and to be honest with you, it wasn't just a change of shape because personnel weren't here. You know, it was something me and the management team spoke about beforehand. Just sort of try and nullify Independent's threat as well. So it did change the shape at the same time, looking at how we would get at them. Do you know what I mean? How we would benefit from our shape to try and win the game again. You know, so
it was really competitive. At 0-0, people who weren't here would think that was a boring game. It was far from it. Both teams were really going for it. But a brilliant goal to seal the win.
Yeah, you know, I've got to say, Independent, you know what you're going to get with them. You know, they've got big centre halves, you know, got lads in the midfield who play football, but they're a massive threat up front. You know, I mean, I think if you look at the league table and you look at, you know, the individuals they've got going forward, you know, they are a very good team on the counter attack, you know, and I think that's something ourselves, you know, where, you know, we're starting to find a good bit of form now. And,
it's brilliant.
You know, with the likes of Louis Hansen, Clark, Luke Malloy, you know, in them advanced areas with Shelley in behind, you know, it was a good game because it was a sort of end to end. You know, let's see who scores first sort of thing, you know. So, and luckily, you know, we got that goal, and again, it's Jamie Clark. Obviously, hit the headlines last week with his free kick, you know. But it's not just that quality he brings with the free kick. He's a game winner, you know. And that, you look at the league, I think that's probably this season overall probably 15, 16 goals, probably 14 in the league. You know, if it falls to him, you know, if you give him enough chances, he's going to bag one of them, you know. And he's done that throughout the season so far. So yeah, it was a great finish.
But you mentioned a little bit before about the consistency. Is that 5 wins on the spin now?
Yeah, it's 12 points in the league and through the cup. You know, and within that we've had a couple of weeks off as well, which I was a little bit worried about, because when you do, obviously we start with a Blue Star, you know. Then we had a good win against Gateshead, and then we had a couple of weeks off, which I wasn't none too happy about, because you want that run to keep going. But to be fair, the lads have just, you know, got that little bit between their teeth now, and it's now, you know, everyone knows winning's a habit, you know, and we're starting to get in that habit now of, you know, that wasn't an easy game to do.
We were far from it.
We had to dig in at times, you know, because Independent caused with problems, but we dug in, and you know, that's a sign of a good team, you know, when you can dig out a result. You know, not that we weren't out of the game, it's just at the time I think we probably did score a little bit against the run of play when we did score, but we had more than enough chances in that game as well, you know, to justify that win for me.
Well, certainly lots to look at from Anecdote TV. Johnny was up there, so I'm sure you'll be looking through that when it appears,
up on
YouTube. But we're saying about the victories. We had Newcastle Benfica here on a Friday night under the lights. The atmosphere was absolutely amazing. Great 3-0 win on that occasion. Another fantastic performance, again with a different team in a different shape. And the crowds are coming in. And what about today?
Oh, you know, I briefly mentioned you before doing the interview. You know, I think it was Phil Riley went in for a tackle. I got fouled something. You know, and
fouled.
The lads on the line. It was just like the raw, and all of a sudden you could just see a few of the lads' chests getting pumped up. All of a sudden, it makes a huge difference. You know, it makes a huge difference, and you know, we're now starting to sort of gather a bit of momentum that we were talking about earlier. You know, we are starting to see a few people through the door now, which is nice to see, and hopefully they're starting to enjoy. You know,
everybody did today.
Yeah, you know, because they're the best wins. I'm going back to the Benfica game. That's not an easy game either. They're in good form. You know, they're a good footballing team. They came in and played some nice stuff. You know, but at the same time, you know, we were a little bit more ruthless. You know, in both boxes, which, you know, that's football at the end of the day, and so that's, for me, that's a huge. I mean, they're all big points, but the last week certainly is, against two teams above one. 6 points is a massive comeback with points. So we are chasing, and all of a sudden we're starting to hunt the teams down ahead of. We've now got a goal where we want to get to. But like I say to the lads, it's just move on to the next game, and it's winning games of football. We've set a target, as management, but every time we go in there, we just say it's about winning.
And we've got Whitley Bay Reserves here again next Saturday, so again it's another home fixture where we can hopefully keep everything going. And then after that we've got a cup match against really local rivals, Rothby, which I know the town are looking forward to. I just want to say one thing about our sponsors today. Again, the sponsors are coming in. Harry's Bar from Narrogate for a fine selection of real ales and the warmest fire in town. And they're in there, and they're all having a great day. So how are you going to prepare for Whitley Bay, because they've just had a change of management as well?
Well, we've had someone there watching the game today, so I'll get a little bit of feedback later on. Like you see, you never know when a new manager comes in. You don't know who they bring, what shapes they're going to play, anything like that. But they're a club that is struggling a little bit at the minute. But again, that's for me and the lads, the players to get the mentality right. In them games, they're always, for me, they're tougher games than what you play here. Because
you won't get a tougher one than today.
Yeah, they're fighting for their lives, as well, and obviously they've got a new manager and they want to be impressed. So we just want to keep winning games, keep turning up, hopefully get a few more faces through the door. Like you just said there, mentioned the sponsors. I think the next 3 games are sponsored.
Yeah, they are.
So we're talking about the club, going forward, and bigger pictures, and all of a sudden it feels like we're starting to get somewhere on and off the pitch, which is fantastic to see. All the hard work, not just what obviously the management put in, and you guys, the social media side of stuff, Tommy the chairman, Ian on the pitch. There's a lot of work goes in. It's and that all buys into the results we get on the pitch.
Well, we absolutely love doing it, especially after days like today. Richie, I can't thank you enough for coming out and talking to us, and well done to you, well done to your management team, and well done to the team on the pitch. And just before I finish, you were saying about players' ins and outs. It's nice to see players that aren't fit and not playing still coming to watch.
Yeah, I mean, we've had that, all season, to be fair. I mean, obviously we're short on players towards the start of the season because of some really bad injuries, which is, but it just shows you what change rooms like, what the club's like as a whole. People enjoy coming, and they want to be part of it. Don't get us wrong, it's frustrating for players as well, because everyone wants to play.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, that's the hardest part of my job, because we haven't got a bad lad. And I do that on purpose. We get, we're looking at their personalities and what they're going to bring to the change room and on the football pitch. So there's not one bad lad. So that's a tough part of my job, But as long as these lads are hungry and want to play in the team and turn up at training and doing the right things, then I certainly want them here. And like you see, they turn up and they want to show, support for the team and the club, so it's great to see, and it's, hopefully it continues and we keep building and keep getting stronger.
Well, let's carry on going up the league. I said it at the start, I was buzzing before this interview. I'm still buzzing now. I'm going for a Henry Weston's before visiting Harry's Bar.
Why not?
Thank you very much, Richie.
You enjoy your weekend, lads.
Thank you
very much. Cheers, appreciate it.